Okay, so we're back in game again, and now we're going to go take a look at our mushroom. We can see that it's clickable. I'm just going to have a quick look at my character stats here. He's not very good with lore, I'm sure. Yeah, he's got a two points in lore, so it's good to know that. So this time we'll click on our mushroom, and we'll see our progress bar going across here. So we're examining it, checking underneath, checking around, and our lore is being tested, and I succeed. So there appears to be black blight underneath the mushroom top, and of course down here you can see that there was a lore check rolled, and I rolled a 19 plus 2 was 21 versus a DC of 14. So as you can see, luckily I just had a good roll of the dice there, and I was able to determine what it was. Now that this message here would not have appeared at all if I didn't have that show skill checkbox checked on this one. So let's just see if we can get a failure here on my lore check and demonstrate what that would look like. And there we go. You don't notice anything special lore failure. And again, this lore check message here only appears because we have that show skill checkbox check. So it's an option. You can have it on or off, depending on what you want to do. So we'll go back into the tool set and move along to the next part. Okay, so we're back in the tool set now. This time we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take away from our mushroom patch here and move into something a little different. Again, it's going to involve progress bars and information and whatnot, but it'll behave a little differently. So this time what I want to do, what I want to accomplish is I'd like for a placeable object to be a campfire pit, and I want the player to come along and be able to click on the campfire pit, make a survival check, and if they're successful, they're able to light the campfire. And then I can further it by allowing them to be able to rest there if they've got the campfire lit. If they fail, the campfire doesn't light and they're unable to rest or whatever. But we'll leave the resting piece out. But we'll just get the idea of how this could work. It's relatively simple to set up our placeable object. It gets a little bit more difficult because you have to be able to script what you want to actually happen. So we're going to do a little campfire here. So the first thing we're going to do is bring over our blueprints, and we're going to go find the campfire blueprints. Now I'm just going to type in fire here and grab one. There we go. And I'm just going to move it over here. Um, there it looks good. So here's our little campfire um, object. And again, what I want to actually have happen is if the player is successful in lighting this, we want a flame to display on our little campfire object. So in order to be able to do that, we're going to have to write a little script. And what happens is our little script is going to make the actual campfire light up. So we're going to want to create a brand new script for this. So we'll go new script, and we'll just call it light campfire. Now the cool thing about this script is we don't actually have to do any skill checks or anything like that in it. All we need this script to do is light the fire, nothing else. So it's going to be a relatively easy and short script. So we'll start it off here, void main, and we'll give it a amount of time because we don't want the fire to be lit forever. So we'll just give it a timer of 30 seconds, and let's put in some. I always like to comment this stuff. Script that puts a flame effect on a placeable object. There we go. And this will be the amount of time the flame will last, and then we'll create the actual effect. So we'll say campfire equals effect NWN2 special. Did I spell that right? Yeah, special effect file, and it'll be the fx underscore torch glow, I think it's called. It's a Ceph. And let's create the actual fire effect from a Ceph file. That Ceph file comes with Neverwinter Nights, so you don't need to worry about where that came from. And then we want to apply it, so apply effect to object, duration, type, temporary, and the effect is going to be E campfire, and it's going to be on object self because the script will always run on the object. F time, and apply the effect to the placeable object, which is itself, and that should be it. So we'll save this script, and we now have a script called light campfire. Now I could have, because this script is so generic, it could be applied to anything. I could have called it, light fire on or something like that, but who cares for this demonstration? So we have this script called light campfire, and we'll close it. So again, that script could also incorporate, flags and things to be able to allow a player to rest or not allow them to rest, or set a flag so wandering monsters don't appear or something. The script can do whatever it is you want it to do. We just got the basic of lighting a visible campfire here, just to show how we can activate a script based on a skill check and a progress bar. So you notice in the script we didn't do any skill checking or anything like that because we don't have to. The info plugin does all that for us. So we'll keep this fire selected, and it's still the same blueprint. We haven't made any changes to it. We don't have to. The plugin will do it all for us. So we will edit this placeable instance, and we'll just call it a fire pit. Good enough. Unique identifier, fire pit. I usually like to put the area tag in just to help keep it unique. If I put fire pit 1, 2, 3, 4, who knows how many I could have in a game, I could lose track. This way I don't have to really keep track in a spreadsheet or nothing. It's easy. I just keep the area tag in there, and there's only going to be maybe 2 or 3 at the most in a particular area, so it makes it simple to keep these unique. I find it amusing that people who can't keep tags unique and they have to keep a big spreadsheet or something of tracking them, just use your area tag, guys. It's so much easier to keep things unique that way because there's only so many things you're going to put in an area. So this will be a unique identifier. You light the fire, and we're going to leave that to the rest of it. Now, of course, our progress bar is going to say lighting fire. We'll make it 10 seconds. Now, this is where we come in with this execute script. This is the script that we want to fire when the player is successful in their skill check, assuming we're using skill checks. If we don't use a skill check, this script just gets fired automatically. There is no success or fail. They just do the 10-second progress bar and the script just fires. But we're going to include a skill in this just to add for enhancement. So what do we call that script? I think it was light campfire. I have to go back and double check because I forget already. So light campfire script, and the skill check, we're going to use a survival skill check here, and this is a relatively easy campfire, so we're going to set the DC to 14. If I want, I could optionally have an item. The player has to have like a tinder box or something, a box of matches or whatever, to be able to light this fire. So I could include an item requirement. That's what this item requirement field is. So if I had an item in my blueprints, I may allow that. The player has to have this item in their inventory to be able to light the fire. And then, of course, if I want the item to disappear after use, I could put that in my light campfire code here. But for this demonstration, I'm not going to. And our fail message, you fail to light the fire. And I'm going to show my skill checks on this one. And I'm not going to use the trigger's name. I'm just going to say lighting fire. And we'll finish and quit. So that's it. We're done. We can fire this up in game and see how it looks.